Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Your name is like a nice piece of jewelry. Polish it and treat it with respect and it'll sparkle. But if you aren't careful, you'll get scratches and scuffs that won't come out easily and are very visible to those around you. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Now he wants my recommendation for another job. My wife's brother and I work in the same field. Basically, we're both software engineers. Around 4 years back, he decided to quit his job at the multinational company he worked for as he wanted to focus on his side hobbies. That didn't work out for him, and within a year, he was back looking for jobs. And a year back, he asked my wife if I'd be willing to recommend him at my company. I asked around, and there was a position open. I got him an interview. It turned out that he walked out from the interview because he wasn't happy with the position they were offering, and also that he'd be working under me. He even sent a strongly worded message to me that I insulted him and that he should be able to work as my equal since that was the position he resigned at. Said that I was probably jealous because he was better qualified than me. Now he wants me to recommend him for a position at another company, and my recommendation would carry weight since I've worked there before, but I refused. I told him to apply like any other applicant would. He said that there are a lot of people applying and he wants an edge over them, and also that my refusal looks petty. And our second story. I hope the $7.50 was worth it. As a poor college student in the 90s, I had a Wells Fargo checking account. It had a minimum average daily balance requirement of $500, which was always a struggle to maintain because, see first sentence. If I couldn't maintain $500, I got hit with a $7.50 fee. On the last day of the month, I realized that I was a little shy of that $500 average balance, so I borrowed some cash from a buddy and went to the ATM and deposited it after class to bring up the account. A few days later, I got hit with the $7.50 fee. I called Wells Fargo and explained that I deposited cash the last day of the month. Turns out there's a cutoff at 5 p.m. or something. I'd missed it, so the deposit didn't count for that day, and I had an average balance of something like $498. Can't remember the exact numbers. I asked as a courtesy to credit that $750 back, but nope, Wells Fargo didn't budge. I read the account agreement. Yep, I missed the deadline, but $750 was like enough food for a couple days when you're surviving on ramen and peanut butter and day-old bagels, 3 for $1 down the street. I was mad at myself, but also upset that I couldn't get a one-time fee reversal. It's not like Wells Fargo lost money because I made the deposit a few hours late. So I've been doing petty revenge ever since, even though Wells Fargo was just following rules that I agreed to. I justify my petty behavior because I'm doing a sort of poetic justice by opening up accounts at Wells Fargo, which is what they did not too long ago to their customers to boost their numbers for Wall Street. Open up accounts for customers without asking. I open accounts and credit cards for the sign-up bonuses, usually keeping the bank accounts open for a year before closing them. These days, I do direct deposit to avoid monthly fees and keep $0 in the account. Direct deposit goes in every other Friday. I send the money out to another account or pay bills the same day, so Wells Fargo has my money for just a few hours. Since 2017, I got 3 Wells Fargo credit card bonuses, $200 twice, $300 for my wife, and have kept the accounts open, so no need to close those, and 4 checking or savings accounts, $150 in 2017, $200 in 2018, $400 in 2020, and this week opened another checking account for another $400. That's $2,150 since 2017. I'm almost up $4,000 from Wells Fargo in bonuses since I started this about 2 decades ago. I do bonuses at other banks, credit card companies, and brokerages, but the one that I really focus on and take special pleasure in is Wells Fargo. The only thing slimy in your story is Wells Fargo. Your petty revenge is a thing of beauty. And our next story. Crazy Karen at Starbucks gets kicked out. I'm deaf and have been since I was 12. From then on, I learned sign language and really focused on learning how to lip read because all my friends were hearing. Our story begins a couple days ago when me and a good friend of mine, known each other for over 10 years, were in line at Starbucks. Honestly, I was pretty nervous, as most of the time I just use mobile order because it's a lot less pressure on me and is less time consuming for the barista. But of course today my phone had died. Luckily, I had a friend with me to calm me down. There was a pretty long line, but we didn't mind, and we just signed while we waited for our turn. When I see the lady in front of us at the counter, I can tell she's angry as she's throwing her hands up in the air, but of course she's facing away from me, so I don't get to know all the juice. I asked my friend to sign what she was saying so I could gossip with her. So she starts interpreting, and here's what went down. Karen, you are honestly the worst cashier I've ever met. Where's your manager? Today's your last day at work, and I'm going to make sure of it. Barista, I'll be right back. Just let me go get my manager for you. In the meantime, just step right over here so those two ladies can get through. The barista turns around and leaves when the Karen looks back at me and my friend. Karen, of course, Starbucks is always something I didn't understand yet I'm always put last. Me, I'm sorry, I can't hear you, I'm deaf. I said this while signing. Karen, so they're gonna serve a R word over me? I've been waiting longer, and they should really serve the normal people first. She said something after that, but I was so shocked that I just stopped reading her lips. Friend, are you kidding me? She's just deaf, and she deserves just as much respect as you. Don't start calling her abnormal just because she can't effing hear you, B. The manager came in from the back to calm everyone down. Karen apparently told the manager I was throwing up gang signs when my friend told him, she's effing deaf. What do you want from her, lady? And then Karen went off on the cashier for attempting to have other people cut her in line. Karen was asked to leave, and my friend and I got our drinks for free. And man, did it feel good to wave at that bee while she was huffing in her car with my free coffee. Wow, people can be so incredibly rude. I'm sorry this happened to you. I mean, damn, I don't know sign language, but gang signs? What the heck? Normal Karen should be served before everyone else. Board planes first, and be allowed to park nearest the mall entrance. And our last story. Entitled mom sneaks onto private company property, wants company to pay for damages. I work the night shift at company name, and while not much goes on overnight, I like to use my breaks to get out of the building once in a while. It's a 12-hour overnight shift. I usually stop at a store that's still open and browse for a bit, or just go for a drive since there aren't many cars on the road. Just something to relax a bit, you know? So while I'm on my drive back, I stop at a red light. While I'm sitting there, at a dead stop, a car comes flying up behind me, slams on their brakes, stopping just a few inches from my car, and blares their horn. I just think to myself, what a effing a-hole, and ignore it. After the light turns green, I continue back to the building to get back to work. Now, the thing about company name is there's a decent amount of security. There's a gate at the entrance where you have to scan a card to get in, and security guards at all times, not to mention all the security cameras around the property. Certain employees also carry radios since the building's pretty big and we need to communicate from different areas. I'm one of these employees. I get back to the building and I notice that car followed me to the building. I'm just thinking maybe it's one of the people that work in a different area of the building, so I scan my card and drive through to the parking lot. I look in my mirror and see the car try to slip past the gate as it's closing and scrape their car on the closing gate. Now I really know something's up. I go park my car and the car parks near me. While I'm getting out, I see this absolute unit of a land whale waddle out of the car with 2 kids in it over to me. EM, entitled mom. Me. Y'all know this one too. EM. What the F are you driving like an a-hole for? You could have killed me and my children. Me. First of all, I was at a dead stop and you almost hit me. Second of all, you're on private property and you need to leave now. EM. I am not leaving until you give me money to fix my car and for traumatizing my children. Me. Your car was damaged from you trying to sneak past the gate. If you don't leave now, I will have to call security. This is private. EM. I don't give a flying F what kind of property it is. Pay me now or I'll sue your company and get you fired. I don't really know how she expected payment right that second, and I really didn't care. Since I already warned her multiple times, I got out the handy-dandy radio and called for some help. SG, security guard. Me, this is OP. Can I get some security over in parking lot 2? There's an unauthorized person on the property. SG, be right there. The massive waste of air was still screaming and demanding payment when the guard showed up. SG, ma'am, do you have any business at company name? EM, this piece of crap almost caused an accident which traumatized my children, and my effing car got messed up by your gate. SG, what happened, OP? Me, I was stopped at a traffic light and she almost rear-ended me. She also followed me through the gate after I scanned my card and scratched her car on the gate while it was closing. I'm sure if you look at the camera footage, it'll be on there. SG, ma'am, if you don't have any reason to be here or any employee identification, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. EM, no, this a-hole almost killed me and my kids. I demand compensation for that and my damaged car. SG, your car was damaged while attempting to trespass on private property. Neither the company or any employee are responsible for that. If you do not leave now, I will have to call the police. She waddled back to her car, screaming about how we'll hear from her lawyers. The guard opened the gate so she could get out, and she left. I guess that's the end of that, since her lawyer will probably laugh in her face if she tries to sue. I just robbed a bank, but while I was there, I shot a guard. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.